Hip-hop. Anonymous.
Saturdays.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Sapo Saturdays. You got your boy ASAP Froggy, Bingus Frog, Doc Froggleday. Welcome to the show.
Ribbit,
y'all. Thank you so much for being here on this beautiful Saturday. Really appreciate you spending some time with us. We're going to talk music. We're going to talk NFTs. We're going to talk jams.
We're going to talk.
And
we want you to talk, too. If you want to talk, you feel free to talk.
Participate, get involved. Hop up whenever you feel like it. You know, just raise your hand, let us know you want to get involved, and we'll get you involved. I see that we have the Notorious Frog team in the house. What's going on, y'all?
Hey, pretty good. Feeling froggy. Looking forward to the Crowd Track Saturdays.
Excellent.
The highlight of the week.
Hey, listen, those biome videos that you guys have been releasing are absolutely epic. Definitely generating some excitement around the community. Very, very cool stuff.
Yeah, they are absolutely frognificent. Lolly and Bugs have been working wonders with the game dev team on churning out just enough to moisten the appetite, but not too much to give it all away.
It's amazing. Let me ask you, Lolly, are you up on the stage with us in the Discord?
Not yet, but
No?
invite
Okay.
is on her way.
Excellent. All right, great. Because I did want to ask Lolly, or if Bugs wanted to come up. I wanted to kind of talk about the music application to these biomes, and how you went about kind of collaborating those ideas. I know Bugs was responsible for at least one of those himself, and then Damboy and Kita, who we had on the show a couple months ago, got involved with the Frogland community, and then they started making some music with the team. So I would love to hear if either Lolly or Bugs are around, what that was like.
Yeah. I was going to say, I am here. I was going to say, I know Bugs is going to be the better one to speak on this because he did a lot more of the audio and musical design, and working with Damboy and Kita, and then you guys as well, for a lot of that. But
Looks like Bugs may have just hopped up.
There we go.
Hey,
Perfect.
am I coming through clearly?
You are.
You're good. 10-4-9-9, we got you.
10-4, good buddy. Yeah, so the music, what specifically do you want to know, other than it was totally random and I just used the dartboard? No, that's not.
Well, okay, let's start with the piece that you created. So was that just the kind of thing where, like, you heard a tune in your head, or did you grab an instrument and you sat down, you watched the video a bunch of times, and then something came to you, you were noodling? How did that work?
Okay, so that actually is something, that was a composition I created quite a while ago, and like years ago, so it had nothing to do with Frogland, but at the beginning we were like trying to figure out like the music that would be, the idea of the music overall is to get each biome a unique sound, which is, you know, a step on the way to developing really, you know, bespoke music and soundscape for each biome. And so I started with that one because it was handy. It is something that I like. It's a combination of sounds. When I created it, I mean, that was a combination of using MIDI and GarageBand. Actually, it was Logic Pro, and using, you know, loops.
Ooh, you're proficient in Logic.
Program. What's that?
I said, ooh, you're proficient in Logic. Look at you.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's been a while, but I've dug back into it. I actually have a very old copy of Logic, like Logic Pro 8. Anyway, it was a starting point, and it had energy, and so I decided to use it. With the idea in mind that we definitely want the community represented in these, which is why we, you know, with Damboy and
Kita
Joe, Damboy and Cheetah, they've been working on another music team that will be revealed relatively soon. And so they had some ideas about these biomes. And so I just sent them images and had them start thinking about it and just started using it. And then also, you guys are going to be represented as well with one of the pieces that was created on Scratch Track Saturdays.
Yeah, I didn't know if that was a for sure thing, so I didn't want to announce that, but that's very exciting.
It is a for sure thing, and so that is happening. So there's a couple left, and we the source of that music for the two remaining that haven't been done, we haven't released all the ones that we've created. We're releasing them on a very specific schedule, and so there's room for more. I mean, Dan Boy is working on something. We'll see when that arrives. And I may hit you guys up with another request to make one. And I have an idea. I'm not going to go into it right now, but I will I'll message you guys about it and
Hell yeah.
see what's up. So
Awesome.
The idea is to give, the main thing is to give unique flavor to each biome in the soundscape, because that's very important, as you know, to the essence of Frogland is the sound. The sounds of Frogland and the frogs.
Hell yeah. Listen, I have a couple more questions for you, but before we go into that, I just want to kind of tell everyone that's here what's going on. So welcome to Scratch Track Saturdays. We are Sapo Studios, here with ASAP Froggy, Bingus Frog, which is myself, and Doc Froggleday. The idea of this space is kind of talking music, NFTs, and the idea of Sapo Studios is to put ownership rights and the profits from music back into the hands of the artists. So NFTs are giving us an opportunity to do that. Down the line, we're going to roll out some sort of a marketplace to be able to buy and sell stems. But right now, while all of that is getting set up, we are talking music, we are talking NFTs, and we are talking Frogland. So we have Bugs here, who is one of the artists responsible for some of the frogs, and he's on the Frogland team, does a whole lot of other amazing stuff. He created music that was used in one of the biome trailers, and we're talking about the biomes. So I know that 3 have been released so far. How many are there total, Bugs?
7.
7 biomes. Awesome. And so you were saying that you have music in creation for the last 4, and Dan Boy and Keita are working on some of them, but some of them are up in the air in terms of what you're going to put on them.
I think you said you got some ideas, though, right, that you're stewing on, like sort of like concept-wise, like what you're feeling?
Yeah. As a team, we've discussed the different styles of music. I mean, the truth is that there's so many genres and styles of music, as you know, that it's 7 is not enough to cover even. I don't even think you could. I mean, with storytelling and narrative, people have reduced it to like there's like 6 basic stories in the universe. Or in the human universe. That's always debatable. But with music and the different subtypes of music it's so infinite. Between era and different cultures and just different treatments, and especially the last 30 years, the whole rise of music genres mixing and intermixing in what was called world music at one point. I don't even know if anybody even distinguishes it anymore, because you hear elements of different styles and different cultural instruments like across the spectrum now, which is good. So it really has more to do with the mood and the moods of each environment.
Right, and to that end, I was going to say, I love that you don't feel stuck in a box, that it all has to be the same type of music or something like that. It just, whatever the vibe fits, that's what we're going to go with.
Yes, and so and this is all part of the co-creation and developing and refining as we go, because these are not like fixed in the firmament. This is the only way that this environment will sound. No, but it does start to set an idea in mind, and the expansion of the music for each biome is a very exciting prospect, when I think about it, because it's not just the music, it's also just the sounds, the ambient sounds, the tone, and the things that give it its soundscape.
Right, and I don't know if this is beyond what you're allowed to tell us, or if you've even made this decision yet. But down the line, once the game is released, are any of these songs that we're hearing in the Biome trailers going to find their way into the game as background music, or is it just going to be kind of ambient sounds in the background?
Oh, I think both. I mean, the ambient, I think that's a really great question, because, we want, because each environment should have its own kind of feel. But not only that, but as the world develops and each of the biomes develop in terms of the variance within those biomes, I mean, not to mention the fact that when you walk into like a place, like a building or someone's house, they'll have on whatever's playing on the jukebox or whatever's playing on the record player or whatever, whatever technology they have for playing music. So things are going to be individualized. Of course, people will choose their own for their own spaces. But for example, like with Sapo Studios, it's a space. It's going to have some feel to it. I mean, what's in the background of the reception area of Sapo Studios? That kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean,
what's playing in the elevator? Since you guys will be in like a 50-story building by that time.
Right. I think in the elevators and in the reception space, it's whatever artist is in the booth. We're blasting that through the building because we want everyone to know what's going on.
There you go. So it's just like, I think of it just like the real world. Like if you're walking, like in a city's a good example, but anywhere where people play music, like the neighborhood I live in, people listen to music, but there's also a lot of musicians around here. And so I'll hear like somebody practicing jazz trumpet as I walk the dog, or somebody will just be blasting, Hendrix, or practicing guitar, trying to imitate, their favorite guitarist. And so as you walk, things come in and out of the space that are different musical tones that tell you a little bit about like who you're near or what's going on. Not to mention the fact that the frogs themselves are musical beings. So each of the frogs needs to have a single voice. That's a design prospect that, I think is going to be really exciting, because when frogs get together, they will make music together just by virtue of the timbre and tone of their voices, I think, or when they choose to sing. So
that's awesome. And I don't know again if this is too far into the future or if you're allowed to say any of this, but do frogs coming together to make music, does that unlock something, or is that just something to entertain us?
I from the get-go, my vision on this has been that they are keys. In addition to being a means of communication, I think they do unlock things. They are keys, and
That's
I
awesome.
absolutely want that. And as a team, we've talked about it, and everyone is in favor of that idea that because then it becomes like a game of like, if you find, it's just like in the real world, if you were gonna like put a chorus together, you'll need people in different ranges to make it all work.
Right.
And that's not to say that you can't have things in a narrower range, or that there's going to be frogs that are more melodic, ones that are more rhythmic, and so on. So it's going to, use the structure of music quite a bit. And there's no reason why, for example, like if you stand in front of a certain tree and if a certain melody is played, or a certain chord is like sustained by the voices of the frogs, that tree won't, let go of something important or
so cool.
valuable.
Yeah, Bugs and I, early on when we first started kind of chatting about, where we were all going with this stuff, we had some conversations that were pretty dope, actually. I thought, I was like, I'm digging these conversations. So yeah, I'm very excited this is going to be a multi-layered experience, I'm sure, at the very least. But I was sort of even explaining, I was trying to do my best Ed Mason pitch on Frogland, and sort of like what it's like, the metaverse in that way. And it's really, and correct me if I'm wrong, please, anybody of the Frog team, because you guys are a little bit more savvy on this than I am. But essentially what I'm getting from it is that it's a platform that other builders or people that want to take part in this ecosystem have an ability to build something. And an example of being like an app store, like the Google Play Store, where you have to go through all these hoops and, you know, requirements to even get your game up there. Then it gets split up amongst all these other entities where they're taking a larger cut, similar to what we're talking about with music, sort of. And y'all are changing that core narrative there, along with the music as well. You guys are doing a couple things, but at the end of the day, showing that there's this ability to build upon something, and no one person holds all the keys to that fortress. Am I totally missing the boat here, Bugs? Give me some feedback on that.
No, I think you're 100% on that. I mean, I know you are. And I think the other thing I would emphasize is, just as you guys are, just like Sapo's already putting sound into the world of Frogland, everything I've just mentioned is not dependent on like the full turnout of, you know, the release of a fully, you know, created world. That, of course, is a process that takes time. A lot of this stuff can exist and should exist now, and that's one of the reasons why audio and music is such a priority for us, because it gives a sense of space and a sense of mood right away, whether it's, you know, even in just a non-visual spectrum like Twitter or Discord can be. And then with the teasers, you know, that's starting to show how we are matching up and lining up, look and feel with the, you know, the emotion and energy qualities of that sound brings to it.
So now, people that still want to get involved, are there frogs out there that still have land yet to be claimed?
Who can answer that?
I feel like that might be a lolly question.
About 50%.
About 50%?
Yes, it is. So still a decent amount. There's a claim check on the frogland.io website, so you can go to the website, connect your wallet, and then type in a frog number, and you will be able to see whether or not the frog has been claimed, the land has been claimed.
So for those of you that are maybe, you know, tuning in today because you heard about the space and you're unfamiliar with the Frogland project, they are building an entire metaverse, and there are land deeds that are attached to each of these frogs. Some of the frogs have claimed them and then put their frogs back up for sale. Some of them are holding on to them. Some of them have claimed them and are holding on to their frog and their deed. But there are still frogs for sale that have deeds to be claimed. And I'll tell you right now, I know a lot of other projects where you go and claim things, costs a lot of money and gas. I claimed 6 land deeds for $6.50.
Yeah, funny enough, I was actually walking a good friend of mine. She's an elderly woman, and she's, you know, into crypto and all that, and I kind of helped her branch into the NFT space.
Doc Froggleday has a lot of elderly friends.
A lot of them. I mean, yo, they're the old people tell you what's up, man. Like, they've been through this shit already. All you gotta do is just listen.
No filter.
Unless they're the crazy old people, which are even more fun to listen to. You know what I mean? So, but long story short, she I was gonna have to drive over to her house. I was having a busy day already, doing some editing and other stuff, and I called her, and this was the first time I was ever able to walk her through something over the phone, and it was the piece of cake. Like, she had...
You walked an elderly woman through a land claim?
Through a land claim over the phone. Like, I wasn't even there. I was like, yo, you got to connect your MetaMask. Like, I walked her through it all, and she was very... You know, she's obviously been in the space for a little bit longer now and learning as she goes, but the simplicity of which she was able to do this, and I explained what Ed, you know, so graciously explained here, is that if you want to double check, because she's like, oh, maybe I need to buy some of this other land, or maybe I need to buy another frog. I was like, if you're gonna buy another frog, you need to check this, type in the number, and she was like, oh my gosh, like, this is so easy. And I was like, there you go. So hats off to the team for making it easy for me.
And the elderly.
So
that's fantastic.
Yeah, I really appreciate that. You guys smoked it.
Well, I'm glad that you're out there doing good deeds. That's nice.
And then I robbed her, notoriously.
Well, yeah, that was the full address exceptions Frogcraft getting that gas optimization done. Some damn impressive stuff. A lot of innovation on the website already. the whole checkout process as well. I think it's quite an original one where you can have multiple different NFTs added into one checkout cart and get it all transacted in one go. Yeah, it's some magnificent work. Address all that.
Yeah, I mean, it's just another testament to how much the Frogland team really does care about its community. I was talking to Lolly about this the other day. You know, you guys just do so much to ensure that everyone in the community is happy, taking care of, you know, anything that they desire in terms of the gameplay or their ideas are heard and talked it through. And you give us alpha all the time. So it's really great, and we really appreciate you.
Oh, thank you so much. That's so but just trying to make sure everyone through the bear market with minimal impact.
I like what Ed says though. We're in the builder market, not like I've been using
build
that,
a bear
Ed.
market.
We're no, let's not build a bear. Let's build a bull. All right.
All right.
Build a frog.
Build a frog.
Build a frog. Yeah, just really quick though, we wanted to check in with Shy Papoose over here because he's been noodling away. Speaking of noodling, give some context of what's going on over here, Shy.
Well, this is the beat we've got happening. Layered out. Let me break it down. Let me turn it up a little bit.
Yeah, because after all, this is Scratch Track Saturdays. So Shy over here is working on a little scratch track. He's got his Fender on his lap, the beautiful metallic mint green Fender, and he's making some music. So he's been noodling away in the background. That's what you've been hearing. And tell us what's going on over there.
So I started with this bass line.
In Logic Pro, right?
Logic Pro.
Okay, so you could do this in GarageBand, but
Could.
ASAP Shia, he's a little bit more advanced, so he's using Logic.
And if you have,
Did you use an actual bass guitar?
No, that's what I was about to say. So if I'm still just using my guitar, but I put like a clean bass filter on there that has another filter on there called Fat Squasher.
Nice.
And then
Fat Squasher.
What really
I need one of those.
So this is what it sounds like without the Fat Squasher. So it still kind of sounds like a guitar. Right? But then like, here, let me just
fatten that thing out.
Yeah.
Squash it and fatten it.
Literally, if you just put this sub bass effect.
Ooh. And bass is so sexy, isn't it?
Yeah, and it just like really changes the thing. And like I didn't really mess with it too much after that, but like you could make it even deeper, heavier, like slap harder. Like by compression. I haven't really messed with the compression yet.
I like that bass line. It's nice.
What if we?
Yeah, and this is all based in Logic.
There's still room.
We can noodle with this for a minute. Show us what else you layered on there, though. That bass line is carrying. I was listening to Rage Against the Machine and just some of those bass lines and their stuff. I'm like, dude, love it.
Yeah, and then I couldn't really hear like. So then I just grabbed this little input.
Like those clicks.
And then this was like right before we started, just not just have that, so I added this over it.
And this is you playing the guitar live, right? Over like the
That was, yeah, and then like right before the show, sorry, I just hit record real quick.
Yeah, I saw you noodling on that. That was sick too. It's just cool to watch.
And then I added like this little sort of like intro. So like what makes things like nice is like a little drop where you just like literally like cut all the tracks right before one of the numbers that are main, whether it's like after 2 measures or 4 measures, so you cut it on like the 3 or at the 5. So I've cut it.
So you're saying like the music plays for a bit and then everything drops out
And then like
comes back in after a beat. Yeah. Yeah, like that.
So then like later in the song, like do like more drops and then like add risers and stuff. So we'll see if we can get there in this session. I was just about to look for some risers and maybe take that thing out, figure out where to go from here, and probably change this. But it's work in progress. That's the whole point.
So the idea, if you've never kind of heard of stems, is that a song is composed of many pieces, right? So you have maybe a bass line, some drums, some guitar, some kazoo. Who knows what you're playing around with?
This is the baseline stem.
But yeah, so each of those instruments becomes a stem that's layered into the track. So the idea is that down the line, when we create this marketplace, you'll be able to buy stems individually. So let's say you're listening to this song that Shia put together, and he squashed and fattened out that bass line, and you're like, wow, that is a sexy bass line. And I'm not crazy about the rest of the shit he did on this track, but I love that bass line. So that's an opportunity for you to go ahead and just buy that bass stem. And then do your own thing with it. Maybe you're like, okay, well...
Hey, fuck you, man.
He clearly has an idea of what to do with the bass, but I don't know what the rest of this shit is, so let me just grab that, and I'll make my own fucking song.
Yeah, it's so interesting, too, because we've had the Avant-Gardians on a few times. Shout out to Ernie down there. And he's been kind of, giving us his breakdown and how they get their sauce, as Joe said. I really like that.
The sauce.
The sauce. If you haven't heard that, we'll be posting a lot of these episodes. The majority of our podcasts are going to exist on Patreon, so keep an eye out for that. We'll be hopefully moving towards that within maybe a few weeks. No promises, but, soon TM. But that was a really fun combo where we were learning about the sauce of the Avant-Gardians. And
yeah, they got a lot of secrets that they were sharing. It was a nice episode.
It was. And the interesting part about that is sort of where the sauce starts, and having some sort of, I guess, like point to, start off of, rather than, it seems like you're going from completely zero, but even with what, Shia Papoose is doing over here, it's interesting to see him noodling around. He did start from nothing, but then the bass builds, and that makes it a little bit easier, I feel like, for other artists to come in and be like, okay, maybe I don't really know where I want to start, but I hear this, and I like this. Like, maybe, again, as Bingus over here was saying, maybe I don't like all of the tracks in here, all of the stems, but I like this core piece. So taking that and being able to actually purchase that on a marketplace and having the freedom and the royalties to do whatever you want with it, and as well the artist getting paid for that sounds pretty awesome. So it's interesting to see where music can start in so many different ways, shapes, and forms. We were kind of talking about that with Bugs, like, he's using tracks from a while back that, just happened to go really well with their land stuff. So,
well, what's also very interesting is that maybe you like a particular genre more than the one that this song is being played as, right? So, for instance, ASAP, do me a favor, go back to the beginning of the track where you said it was just that like little like clicking drum breakdown before the song starts. Yeah, that. So that to me sounds very much like something you would hear in a hip hop loop.
Yeah, you hear it in the very beginning, kind of.
And it definitely works for this. But that's the type of thing where I'm saying, like, you could totally change the genre and say, okay, I love that, but I want to make a rap song, and this is, way more of a rock vibe, so I'm going to go ahead and just take that drum out, and that's what I'm going to start with. Yeah, isolate that piece and just play that one more time.
I'm going in.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going in.
Well, not that,
Come on, man.
Good raps would come in at that point.
That's fire right there.
But yeah, no. So you could completely change the genre if you wanted to. There's so much to work with there. So it's a really exciting time to be able to do this kind of thing, especially technologically across the world, to be able to collaborate with other musicians, and that's another thing we're really trying to emphasize and facilitate. So to that end, if you are a musician out there and you would like to collaborate with us in any way, please go ahead and send us a DM in our Twitter, or send us an email to sapostudios1@gmail.com. Let's say you're listening to one of the jam sessions on the show, and you're like, you know what? I bet this would go great with that.
You got some sauce.
Send us the sauce, and we'll try to mix it in.
And be aware that when all of these things do come to fruition, these abilities to start minting these stems and all this good fun stuff, obviously we're going to be keeping the artists and the people that did create these beats in mind, and hopefully they'll be able to just go and do it themselves. But again, good things take time. So run before you walk, as they say.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Because then you get there faster. And you can-
Yeah. That's why you were always falling on your face as a kid.
Probably, man. I got a few scars on my face.
You should see this guy's face. It's pretty tore up.
I have hurt myself in many ways in the face, unfortunately.
You know, it's funny. As much as I was completely joking right now, I think about it, and it's actually true.
It's true.
We used to live together, and he would just come home with like all sorts of bangs and bruises. I'm like, oh my god, what happened to you? I remember we used to film every Monday. We would release sketch comedy videos, so throughout the week we were filming. And Doc Froggleday over here is a guy that likes to go surfing. So he'd take his car and his surfboard, and he'd go out to Leo Carrillo and catch some waves. And for some reason, his face was like a magnet to those rocks.
Bro, it was the worst.
Oh my god, he came back so banged up one day, just with cuts all over his face and his arms,
my hand,
and we were supposed to film something. I'm like, well, we have to pivot here, but what the hell
we had
happened
to go to
you?
USC as well. Remember that to
actually
record music.
We were
funny
making some
enough.
music
Yeah,
for something that
hilarious.
we were doing,
and yeah, so I was
and bringing you back into those like really nice recital rooms with like
Just
grand pianos, and you're bleeding out of the face.
Yeah, bandages and bruises. So long story short, adrenaline is something I love, and I was not doing anything extreme, just doing some surfing, and this giant wave's coming in. So I try to dive under it, and I dive with my board, and the board slips.
And with your face.
Yeah, the board slips from like down and goes under my chest, and there's a giant rock, a jagged like rock in right there, and I dove straight into it, pretty much. Like not straight, pretty good though, and I jack myself up, to say the least. Like I got like deep cuts in my face.
You are very lucky that you don't look like Edward Scissorhands. Because
bro, I heal well though. You know what I mean?
you do.
But
that's what I'm saying. Like
I
fucking
go
Wolverine
back,
or something.
I go back and I'm banging on the lifeguard tower. I'm okay, thank you. I go to the lifeguard tower, and all these people are like, holy shit, man! Like, what happened to this dude? Like, I literally look like I got just like pummeled, and I'm bleeding all over. And I'm like banging on this lifeguard tower. No one's coming out though, because I'm like, I need to get this shit cleaned, like yada yada yada. And some local guy is like, oh brother, he's probably out catching some sets right now. I was like, God damn it!
The lifeguard is out surfing.
He's out surfing while I am bleeding.
That's California for you.
Yeah, it was cool. But on top of that, just to top it off, I walk upstairs because I'm like, all right, screw this. I need to go put my board away at least. I lock my keys in my car as well. So, dude,
my god! So you're just standing there, hurt, bleeding out the face,
yeah.
bleeding out the arms. Can't find a lifeguard because they're out surfing. Can't get into your car because it's locked. You're a mess,
yeah,
man.
I was a bad
Get
guy.
your life
Some
together.
guy brought a golf club out and was like, "Hey, we just smash your window." I was like, "No, we're not going to do that.
You make your day just a little bit better."
Yeah. We're not going to do that." But it was, we got a little sidetracked there. But at the end,
that's a good story.
yeah, we got plenty of stories.
Well, it's funny because that's kind of how we got close, right? My AAA card.
Yeah, that literally brought us
Because
together.
yeah, because you have a habit of locking yourself out of your car.
That and just other things happening, like a wheel almost falling off
life.
my car. Just
Life, right?
Like that. Anyways, getting back on subject here, I'm going to give a real quick reset to the room because people are like, okay, did we just walk into like a trauma center? What's going on here? My name's A-Bomb. I got my boy Bingus. We also have Shy Papoose in the room here. We're in our studio in Burbank, California, creating beats live. We are partnered here with Frogland. We are part of their project in the sense of just trying to create music and give opportunity to musicians through their platform.
Give ownership rights back to the musicians. Give profits back to the musicians the way it should be.
Everything. Just give, do them the goods that they should be getting. But at the end of the day, we're here going to be showing y'all what it's like to create a beat live and kind of getting into some fun stuff where we can actually break down what we're doing. If you want to be a part of it as well, we can do that too, where you can come on in and just drop some beats, as Bingus was saying. That's Sapo Studios1 at Gmail. Send us over something, what you got, the sauce, and we'll put it on.
Yeah, and the thing that we really do like to emphasize as much as we can is that as much as we were talking about Logic being the program that ASAP was using over here, which is a bit of a more advanced program, if you have a Mac, GarageBand comes free.
Bro, I was noodling on it a while ago. You know what I mean? I was sending Shia over here some of the stuff I was doing. He's like, there you go. Don't know how to quantize it yet. He told me how to. I tried to do it, and I was like, this isn't working, man.
For those of you that don't know what he's talking about, quantize means once you have your music in, let's say you're playing a live instrument, and you think that you're on time with your playing, but you want it to be perfect. So there's a feature in GarageBand, it's in Logic, it's in all of these music programs called Quantize, where it essentially digitally lines up all of the notes so that they're being played at the exact right time.
Yes, and thank you for that description, Bingus. And really quick, though, what was interesting...
I don't like how you just said my name, Bingus. That was a hard B, a little rage in
Bingus.
there.
No, I just wanted...
Thanks for that, Bingus.
No, thank you. People need to know.
Go ahead.
I want to know. No. So what was odd, though, what you're talking about, I want to give a little context to anybody that's new with GarageBand. Essentially... I tried to quantize it, and everything sounded off now. Like, I would, freestyle timed everything out. You know, I got a great finger.
Great ear.
great finger. And it sounded like, dude, I have it on the computer. I'll fucking play it for you right now. But
all right, so let's ask Shia, is there a trick to quantizing?
No. I tried to quantize it. When I did it, it threw everything off. I was like...
And that's what I'm saying. So you fucked it up, and that's why I'm asking
No, the
him.
quantizing fucked it up.
Yeah, no, it definitely wasn't the program, I don't think. So let's ask Shia.
Okay.
Is there a certain way that you quantize properly?
By playing to a click track. Were you playing to the click track?
The metronome?
Did you have a metronome on?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I did. I don't know if I was playing to that perfectly, but...
Because that would be the thing, is like playing to as close as you can to the metronome, so that when you do quantize it, if you are very close to the metronome, it won't sound different than what you're trying to make it sound like.
Interesting.
You know?
Well, let me...
So
hold on.
we've talked about, BPM, which is beats per measure, and that's essentially the speed at which the song is playing. So that's what you're going to set your metronome to when we're talking about the metronome, whether it's 110 BPM, 89 BPM, that's what we're talking about with the metronome. And when he says the click track, that's the metronome clicks. So on the beat, it clicks to that time. So when you're setting your BPMs, you're setting the metronome essentially, and you want to play as close to that as possible so that when you do quantize, it doesn't fuck it all up like it did for Doc over here.
Well, hold on. I'm gonna straight up export this wave right now for him, and then y'all.
What, he can't make magic. You know, if you fucked it up to begin with.
Hold on. Maybe if I just play it off the computer right now, y'all can hear it. Let's see. Yeah, so it's very minimal, right? Very minimal. That's it. Nothing special.
Sounds like you're clapping cheeks over there.
That's the point. It's like a Wale song. It's like a Wale song. But dude, so I dropped this in the I did exactly what you showed me to do, and it just jacked everything up. Show me. Okay, so we're doing this live right now, people. We're getting nitty and gritty with it for you. We'll do it live. We just happen to have a legendary person who we've tried to have on in the past. I'll let Bingus Frog over here introduce him.
So this is the man, the myth, the legend, Guapo. I didn't know if we'd actually... Yes, sup. I didn't know if we'd actually get him here, but we got him here. And I just have to start off by saying that man, the myth, the legend is really just such an appropriate description for this guy. I'm not going to say much more than this. When we were at my bachelor party a couple weeks ago.
Stop.
I should, but I won't, okay? When we were at my bachelor party a couple weeks ago, this guy shows up. First of all, we all look like fucking schlubs, and he's like, you guys dressing up? I'm like, I'm wearing shorts, man. It's like 113 in Vegas. But he shows up like full, like, Armani or Gucci or whatever the fuck you were wearing just looked amazing.
It's Tom Ford.
Takes me it's Tom Ford. Oh, excuse me. All of us can
Don't
afford
offend me with
that
that
shit. But yeah, no, he takes me out to the strip club as you do at your bachelor party.
You know, as
right?
you should be doing.
But
as you
this
should be fucking
guy,
doing.
this guy hands me a stack of singles bigger than anything I've ever seen, and goes, "Come on, let's make it rain." Let me tell you something. That was the most epic moment of my fucking life.
Yeah, man. Dude, you know what I'm saying? When in Vegas, fuck no. How does it? When in Rome, and Vegas is no fucking Rome, but Vegas is Vegas. So when in Vegas, you must Vegas, Vegas appropriately.
That's right. So while they're playing around with Doc's track, why don't we talk to you for a little bit? Is that Wale banger? Doc Froggle. We've all got A-Bomb. We've all got alter egos here in the Frogland universe.
Can I get a cool frog name? Can I be Sapo?
There actually already is a Sapo, and he's listening right now.
Yeah?
Yeah, he's in the Hip Hop
Sapo?
Anonymous gang as well. Shout out to Sapo. But yeah, no,
Sapo.
we'll think of a cool name for you. Don't worry, we'll take care of you.
If I eat, will it come out on the mic?
Yeah, probably. But anyway, so are you doing live performing these days?
Yeah.
So I know that you do a lot of shows. Guap does rapping. He does R&B type stuff. He does Latin trap. He does all types of music. He's not defined by one genre.
Yeah.
You can't put him in a box.
No, can't put me in the box even the day I go out. You know what I'm saying? But I do a lot of different styles of music. You know, it's so I kind of get offended sometimes. Not that I have anything against rappers except their whole ideology. You know, but I am a rapper, but you know, like I feel like I'm an artist, like more so than anything. Like I think music should definitely be like whatever it is that you're feeling. Like for a while, I kind of got stuck in the and when I say a while, I mean years, man. Like I got stuck in the loop of like being a rapper. That's why I say like I don't like the whole like ideology of being a rapper. Is like the only thing that I was making music about was rap shit. Like, you know, like like fucking bang bang and fucking kill this and fuck that and sell that and do like all kinds of
And shit, it was fun.
and yeah, it was, don't get me wrong, it was fun, but I was like, at a certain point I was like, oh man, I was like, is this all I have to offer? And I was like, nah, bro, I was like, you have so much fucking more going on in your mind and your heart and all this shit. And I was like, and I remember talking to Patrick. Patrick is, for those of you guys who don't know Patrick, he's...
No, they do. That's Zen Mix. Yes. Zen Mix. Yeah,
Oh,
we got
no
your... We were
way.
joking
No
about the
way.
fact that we got
Well, I
your
feel like this
producer,
mic is super
engineer
loud.
on the
Okay,
show
gotcha.
before you.
Yeah.
So-
Okay, so glad that you guys know Patrick. Okay,
yeah,
so
Zen Mix is a G.
Yeah, Zen Mix, that's my ace, man. I've been working with him for over a decade now, which is crazy as fuck to
He's
say.
amazing.
Yeah, so...
Thank
yeah,
you for introducing him.
of course, guys. So one day I was in the studio and I told him, I was like, man, I'm tired of fucking like just rapping about all this negative shit and like all just like this like gangster like heavyweight stuff. And he's like, well, what do you want to rap about? I go, sometimes I don't want to rap. I go, sometimes I want to sing and shit. And he goes,
Okay, Drake.
Yeah, he goes. So then do that. And I was like, yeah, you know what? You're right, dog. I should do that. And I was like, yeah. And it was as simple as someone telling me, just do that. But he's that kind of guy, you know. He's the one that'll tell you, like, hey, bro, like, just fucking do it. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, just like do it. Like, give it a shot. And it was like a lot of just like learning myself through music, bro. Like, just like not only finding who I was as an artist, but finding out who I was as a person. Like, a lot of things you don't know. You don't know how you feel until you say it out loud. That happens to me all the fucking time, bro. Like,
Scary sometimes.
It's so scary sometimes. Like,
Been there.
Yeah, even like in the middle of like, say like, it doesn't even have to be in the studio, but a lot of times it does happen in the studio. But like, say like in a conversation, I'll say something and then I'll just stop because then my mind goes, whoa, that's how you feel. It's like, whoa, that is how I feel. That's pretty great.
Rude
man.
awakening.
Yeah, rude awakening. Or cool awakening, man. But
No,
yeah, man.
that's so true. It's so funny because I've literally experienced that moment so many times. I think like even on one of our late night talks in Vegas, I probably had a moment or two like that. I was like, oh, holy shit, I'm saying this out loud. So I guess that's
what those experiences are for, man.
yeah, true.
The strippers and the we'll just leave it there. The strippers and all the other stuff. You know, that's what it's for. So you can have these conversations.
So where do you get your beats from? Do you have like one provider of beats when you're starting your tracks, or does ZenMix create those? How does that work?
So when I first started making music, I was just finding fucking beats off YouTube. Like doing that whole thing. And
Did you care about royalty free, or you were just like, fuck it, I'll just...
I was like just mixtaping everything.
Okay.
Bro. I didn't give a shit. Like I just wanted like to make music, and then eventually, I found like different homies and different people along the way, like people that I went to school with, people that just like I had like met or whatever over time. But ironically, so Patrick is an engineer. He's not really a beat maker, producer. He's a producer because so first of all, a producer is more than a beat maker. They're the production of the track, If you want to call it beat maker, there would be a programmer. So yes, he is a producer, but he wasn't a programmer, right? And I told him, this is like 6 years ago, 5 years ago, something like that. And I was like, hey man, I'm tired of not having someone to like that like can make beats for me. I was like, because it's different. Like it's different finding a beat that you like, and having someone make a beat for you, for your style, that knows you, that knows like, your cadences, your voice, like what.
And if there's anyone that knows you and your style,
if there's anyone that knows me, it's
Pat.
Patrick.
Yeah.
Is there anyone in the world that knows me, it's Patrick. So I told him, I go, hey man, if I buy a machine and I buy like the programs and I get a laptop, I go, will you like get into making beats? And he's like, I guess. He's like, but I guess I just never really do that. Like I don't really make hip hop beats. I'm not a hip hopper. And I was like, I'm not a hip hopper either, bro. Like
See, and that's why I think Patrick and I really get along, is because we're very similar in that way that like we can be dragged into just about anything and we'll go kind of reluctantly, but we'll make it happen after that. You know what I mean? But yeah, no, that's awesome that he was amenable to that and got into that beat making and shit.
So now I also have like one of my best friends, producer. His name's Julio. We call him Chongo Chan.
Chongo Chan.
He'll be on the show soon enough. He was supposed to come today, but he had to go to TJ because he has a gig.
Tijuana.
That's where all my shows get down, people.
Yeah, if you're ever
Sapo
out,
Gang, Hip Hop Anonymous. Y'all ever want to get out of the country and do some things that are highly frowned upon but are extremely enjoyable, holla at your boy.
and what we're talking about is dancing to Latin trap music. That's all we're referencing there, right?
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah,
That's all
yeah,
we're
yeah.
referencing.
Very notorious. I like it.
But yeah, man, as far as like the beat making going, like I was around for that.
Oh, yeah, you were.
Transition, and that was fucking awesome to see.
You were.
Because I feel like I was always like, man, like you gotta. And I wanted to like do that with you, or like do, and I tried to like here are some beats, man, just fucking rap over them.
Yeah.
And like it was cool for like Pat to watch Pat become that person,
dude, and
with Utah's fucking
with
Utah's push.
Yeah, with Utah's push, yeah. And so this is the thing that like now like I'm excited to like show y'all some of the stuff that like that Patrick has actually been cracking out. Like I walk into the studio and I'm like, sometimes I look at him like, this is you? And he's like, yeah. I was like, you fucking lying to me. like this is like what? He's like, come on, boy. And I was like, damn.
Man, I want to.
He's an impressive dude.
I want to hear it.
Yeah, dude. Yeah,
Did you bring any of those tracks today?
I brought,
okay, awesome.
Man, I got tracks on tracks on tracks on tracks.
That's what I love about
even though I know I'm only supposed to bring 3, but I brought tracks on tracks on tracks.
Let's go. We're gonna be pumping them all. But just to backtrack, fuck you for a minute, Guapo. But Pat,
I'll take a food break.
Pat, dude, like how modest he is on, you know what I mean, in any form of just like what he's doing. Like you're saying, like you came in, you're like, is this you, boy? And he's like, yeah. You know, he's not like, that's right, motherfucker. He's just like, yeah. You like it? Yeah.
So let me ask you, because I know that you are Nicaraguan, and I know that you're very big into your culture, and you're someone that wants to represent that. How does that play a part in your music? I guess specifically, first I would ask. I know that different people that are from different places in Spain have different words for things, have different accents. Right. So do you use words in when you rap in Spanish that are specific, or do anything in Spanish that are specific to Nicaragua?
Absolutely. But it's not, it's not a thing of consciously being like, hey, like I'm gonna involve some of the language of my culture. Like for example, like we use a word called yakachimba. we use words like
Yakachimba.
Yakachimba.
What does that mean?
That Yakachimba means like it could mean a variety of shit. It could be like fucking dope. We'd be like, oh, that's badass.
Yakachimba.
Or like, oh, te cachimbate, which means like, oh, you fucked up. Like, so it could be a lot of like different stuff. But I never really make it an emphasis to. For example, I was working on the song last week, and I had been hanging around with these French girls. So like I had like literally like it's like in the song like I said s'il vous plaît, and it's like I was like, oh dude, I was like, that's funny. I was like, it's literally like I don't think about like, hey, like I'm gonna like throw my culture in here, or like I really always like focus on trying to be me.
And whatever comes out.
And be authentic. It's like, hey man, like this is me. Like I am Nicaraguan. Like all my family speaks no fucking English. So like I know like the words and like the vibe and everything that's going on. So it's like that's just a part of me. When I was kicking it with these French girls for a week, that became a part of me. Like for the song. Like sometimes like I have a lot of Mexican friends. Like I spend a lot of time in TJ, so I pick up a lot of their slang, a lot of their lingo. And sometimes when I hear my music, I'm like, dang, I sound Mexican. But then I hear like the next track, and I'm like, oh nah, dude, I sound Nicaraguan as fuck.
Well, I feel like that's true for a lot of people. When you hang out with certain groups, you start to speak like them to a certain respect.
Absolutely.
So, like, I went to college in Boston, and when I was hanging around those kids, there were definitely times when I was dropping my R's and I was, saying the fucking bubbler instead of the water fountain. Go get a grinder instead of a fucking hoagie or a sub or whatever the fuck. But a grinder, yeah.
A grinder for a sandwich?
Yeah. They have all sorts of fucking they have their own language over there in Massachusetts. But yeah, no, that's so when you collab then with another Latin artist, it's not imperative that they be Nicaraguan then.
No, not at all. In all honesty, I have you guys obviously know who Flo is.
Yeah, he's El Salvadorian.
Yeah, he's Salvadorian, and so and he's one of my best friends.
He's a good dude.
He's signed to my label.
Yes, Guap has his own label. It's called Re-Up Records.
Rio Records.
Which is actually fucking cool how we met Flo.
Yeah, that is super cool. So,
which Adam's about to post some music videos that we shot, I believe. No,
nice.
Not doing it anymore. Forgot the whole thing. He deleted them all. All right,
I deleted them all? Which ones did we shoot?
YouTube stuff. I don't know.
Those were only posted on Instagram, the stuff that we shot.
There was a whole YouTube.
I'll find those.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I did take those down though. I
just scrubbed the internet of all of that shit.
Look, I had a revamp in my life. It's like
that's
I had
fair,
to
that's
fucking
good.
just.
But it doesn't matter what.
Yeah, you went from
music
Snoop,
video it was.
You went from
Doesn't matter
Snoop
what the
Dogg to
music video
Snoop
was.
Lion.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, man. So we met for me and Dave. Or what's your froggy name?
ASAP Froggy, man.
ASAP Froggy. Me and ASAP Froggy. You know what I'm saying? Is this my phone ringing? Oh, this fool's tripping. Sorry, business on the line every time. But we went to the weed shop. Not sure if I can say that on here, but whatever.
We're supposed to be editing.
We're supposed to be editing.
We're
Yeah.
like, you know what, man? We should just go to the weed shop.
And I was like, nah, bro, I already got a tree here. Like, what's like, nah, but I want some good tree. I want some OG. And I was like, I'm not going. I never go to the shop, And this was like, let's go. So I'm like, you know what? Fuck it, bro. Let's go to the. Oh shit! What the fuck? I just unplugged.
Just the headphones.
Can you also
the
hear me?
mic's still working.
Okay,
yeah.
nice. So if somebody can, yeah, I got you. So anyways, I reluctantly end up going to the weed shop with this guy, and lo and behold, there's a security in the weed shop, and he's just kind of scoping me out, and I'm already starting to feel weird. I'm like, why the fuck is this guy looking at me like this, And then he just comes over to me and he goes, "Hey, you like music?"
And this guy has like the deepest voice with the most thick Spanish accent.
Hey.
Yeah. His voice sounds chopped and screwed in like real life.
What's going on?
Yeah, and so I go, yeah, and he just like kind of like says like okay, nods his head, goes over to his laptop, throws some beat on, and just starts fucking freestyling. I'm like, damn, this guy's sick as fuck. Whoa, who is this? Like, where did this guy come from? And so then I hop in, and he's kind of like, whoa, where did this guy come from? Like, what? Like, and so after that, I invited him to the studio, and yeah, dude, like I signed up shortly after that. But
And what I love about that too is that Doc is always talking about this. Doc Froggledy over here. That
La bomba.
you got to shoot your shot because you never know when you're going to have that opportunity again. And if the universe is placing that shit in front of you, then take the universe up on that opportunity.
And if it's ever in question if you should go to the weed shop or not, you
go to the
always
go to the weed shop.
always go to the weed shop.
But yeah, no. So El Del Flo Gigante was this security guard at the fucking weed shop, and he shoots his shot. He puts on the track, and he does his thing, and you were fucking impressed, and you have your own fucking label.
Yeah, for sure. And that's the thing. Like, I'm not impressed easily, man. Like, I've been doing music for a long time. Like, it's like, hey, dude. Like, I know everybody starts. Like, I know when I started, I was whack. At least for me. Like, when I hear myself back, I'm like, dude, you're a fool. What the fuck are you doing? You know. But everybody has that process, and so like, especially being in LA, like you hear like, oh, I do music, to the point where like it's kind of offensive. It's like, no, you don't do music, bro. Like, you may know how to rap, but in all honesty, everybody can rap, bro.
Well, and that's funny too, because like I think a lot of people that with respect to certain jobs, they think like it's not necessarily a job like anything else.
Yeah,
and you got to put your 10,000 hours into this like anything else.
Absolutely.
So like, I play guitar, but like I'm by no means like a fucking professional guitar player, and I'm not going to go around saying that I am to any respect.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I can definitely hold down my shit and play in a song, and I could probably play with a live band.
Sure.
But I'm not a fucking professional musician.
You know, and it's funny because you. Dave, he's like, no, you cannot play with no fucking live band.
you suck, man.
Fuck you, man.
So yeah, man. What I was getting to though is that even though this guy's like one of my best friends and like artist on the label and all that stuff, he makes music, and it's totally cool. He makes music specifically for Salvadorian people.
Yeah, that bandera song.
Yeah, only with like Salvadorian slang about Salvadorian stuff, and he like makes it like a thing where he's like, I wanted to like be like Salvador. I'm like, hey dude, like there's more. I was like, is that all you are, like Salvadorian? He's like, I am Salvadorian. I go, right, I know you are, but is that all? I was like,
and I could see him with the deep voice. I am Salvadorian.
But si soy. You know? And I'm like, right, but is that all you are? And I just blew his fucking mind with that question. He was like, oh, I go, listen to your songs, bro. I was like, they're all about El Salvador. I was like, which is cool. Like, hey, it's cool to love like where you're from. I was like, but you're more than the place you're from. I go, you're also the places you're going. You're also the places you've never been. You're also like, you're all that stuff, bro. Like,
look at fucking Dr. Seuss over here. Oh, the places you'll go.
And so he was like, whoa. And when he started like incorporating like things from like different cultures and different like next thing, it's funny because we did this song and he started out with it was the first song we did after that conversation, and he goes, the way he started the song, he goes, Assalamu alaikum, oleko salam, and I was like, what the fuck? And he's like, yeah, man, I just started thinking of like people we have around. We have a lot of like different like Jewish, Hebrew people. He goes, I heard one of the homies say that on the phone. He goes, and I thought it sounded dope. I go, do you know what it means? He goes, I have no idea what the fuck it means. He goes, but it sounds so cool.
and it's Arabic, right?
Yeah.
It's not.
I don't even know.
Not fucking Hebrew.
Whatever it is, dog.
That's fucking funny.
So yeah, man, and that's like kind of back to the whole like what do you bring to like the table musically? I think it's always important
in terms of culture. Yeah,
in terms of culture, but I think nobody can bring what you bring to the table. Nobody can bring what you bring to the table. Nobody can bring what you bring to the table. And y'all don't see me, but I'm pointing at everyone.
I was just about to say, he pointed and touched every one of us.
Yeah.
Now point at the audience.
Yeah, nobody can bring what you bring.
Yeah, nobody can bring what y'all bring to the table.
There you
get
go.
What I'm saying? It's like, so, like in that, like I think everything else goes out the door, like, or should, like, in an ideal world, should go out the door. It's like, hey, like I'm bringing me, whatever me is, whatever, and me is gonna be different in this moment than it'll be tomorrow. You get what I'm saying? Like right now, like I feel good, like whatever, like like I'm chilling, I'm like talking music. Tomorrow at this time, I might be fucked up on the poolside somewhere, drunk as shit. Like it's like,
what do you mean might be?
Right, I will be.
He's telling everyone about his day tomorrow, and he's saying might be. laughing because it's true. Anyway.
Yeah, man. That's
Yeah. No,
So how was Vegas?
I don't know.
Yeah, no, we're leaving Vegas.
How was Vegas?
We're leaving the rest of Vegas in Vegas.
You know how you sometimes circle back to me to check in with
Yeah, no,
I
let's not
kinda wanna
check in on
circle
that.
back
Let's check
in over there.
Why
How
don't
was
you
Vegas?
go ahead and airdrop ASAP a tune so that we can play some of your music? And I also wanted to ask you, because this definitely happened to Doc and I a lot when we were making sketch comedy videos. Once you're doing something that's of a creative nature, everyone that you're associated with has fucking ideas for you. and everyone is coming up to you, hey, you know, this would make a great video, that would make a great video. So I'm wondering if that happens to you as a musician as well. They're like, hey, have you ever thought about making a song about this? And they think like they're like the first person to ever think of that idea when they approach you.
Yeah, for sure. Well, and you know, it's
Are you talking about your own idea that you tried to pitch?
All right, you know what? Yeah, okay, I do that too.
What was the idea? What was the idea that you tried to?
I don't.
I
know. Yeah,
music. I love to sing.
Yeah, I did try to pitch you a stupid song idea.
I don't even remember that. I don't even remember it.
I didn't even remember that.
Dave was like, "This is historically bad. I'm gonna remember this shit forever."
Wow. He just drove an 18-wheeler over my face. I'm over here making fun of all these people that do that. And I'm that guy.
Like,
You are
think fast, turn around.
Exactly. You are so lucky that we are not looped into my old computer because I still have the project file.
Oh no way!
Oh no!
Dang, that'd be great.
See, everything is forever on the internet. That's
It's scary as fuck, bro. But yeah, man. So, but piggybacking off of that, yeah, man. It's like it happens so many times where literally no bullshit. Look, I know y'all can't see this at home, listeners, but I literally just got. I was like sending one of like my homegirls just like a song. She's like, I want to see what you're working on. And she's like, I like it, but it needs a little twist. I'm like, yo, since when the fuck have you ever made a song? When have you ever like done
it? Needs
like,
a little
twist. I'm
twist.
like, what do you mean? And you know, I obviously always like respect people's opinion, and like everybody. That's the cool shit about music is that everybody. Some people are not gonna like it. Some people are gonna love it.
And in fairness, as stupid as my fucking idea was, there was a day or two when I was in the studio with you that I said maybe throw in this Spanish word in this line, and it wound up fucking working.
Yes,
Okay,
absolutely.
so
absolutely.
I don't have all time.
I was also there for that. I'll give you your flowers.
so I'm not, completely inept. But anyway,
And then I think it led to that project file that I had.
you're such a dick.
Got him. So that's the thing, man, is that people are always going to have like input, and I sometimes, man, if you're not my friend, like if you don't really know me, like I'm definitely probably going to rub you the wrong way, like because I call it polluting my mind. So it's like, which is fucked up. But it's like, say if I have an idea,
Don't
like,
pollute my mind with your trash ideas.
Don't pollute. Don't. Not even if they're trash ideas, but even just with ideas like regular ideas, because like I think the creative process is something that's like should be so sacred and should be so like personalized to whatever you're creating in that moment. So like a lot of times, like I've been in the studio, even when I'm working with people. Say if I'm working with like on a collab, they'll be like, oh this. I'm like, hey bro, just for a second, shut the fuck up, please. Like
you do your job, I'll do mine.
Yeah, and it's like, hey, and it's like, let me, and I'm not saying that I'll never take the inputs. Like, let me like put this idea that I have on paper. Once it's like down, like I'll refine it, and like like if you have any good ideas, that's why me and Patrick have that running joke in the studio when someone gives an idea or suggestion, we'll be like, damn, when did Dr. Dre walk in here? Damn, that's crazy. What is it, Scott Storch and 50 Cent walking through the door right now? What the fuck? Like, so it's like, but obviously it's like it's all jokes and fun, like whenever we're working with someone, but like, and it's the same for me, like whenever I see somebody working, obviously, like I have the urge where it's like, oh, like hey, this, but it's like I've learned to be like, hey, because and you know who taught me this was Patrick, because Patrick would be working on something, right, mixing. I'd be like, oh hey, right here, like mix this and do this and do that. And one day he just stopped and looked at me. He just stopped and looked up at me. He's like, can I do my fucking job? And I was like, yes. Jeez. And he goes, when I tell you to listen, that's when you listen. And I go, okay. Perfect. Understood. So now to this day, whenever like he'll be playing something, he'll look at me. I'll be like, oh, am I listening? He'll be like, you're listening. And I'm like, okay. And I look at him, I'm like, am I listening? He goes, no, you're not listening yet. So it's like I'm hearing it, but I'm not listening.
And you know what? Zemix is totally one of those guys that, like, to a certain respect, he's a man of few words, and he, like, chooses his words kind of thing. So when he does speak, it's like, it's either profound or just right on the nose. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Did you already airdrop him that shit?
I totally got distracted. Let me do it right now.
Oh, that's okay. I was distracting you. Yeah, no, that's and you know, that's funny about what you say about, like, letting someone kind of finish their thought, at least if you are collaborating with them before you sort of interject your ideas, because that's something that we've talked about on the show that Doc and I had experienced back in the day when we were creating sketches.
Your MacBook airdrop or his?
Yeah, his. But yeah, so there would be times when I would be explaining an idea to him, and he'd be cutting me off and be like, "Well, no, that's not going to. We should do it like that." And I'm like, "Okay, shut the fuck up. Let me finish these 4 sentences. I'm probably going to come back around to this thing that you want me to incorporate in this."
Never happened.
Never happened.
No, he's definitely right.
But yeah, no, that's part of collaboration and working with
100.
someone is giving them enough respect to let them do their thing, let them express their idea before you try to put your spin on it.
Absolutely. I mean, you do, and that's the part of collaboration that you have to. We were talking about this the other day with, like, Ernie, you know, and Joe and the Avant-Gardians with the whole trust concept, where you do have to trust the process. So,
Dude, who's the other guy in the Avant-Gardians?
Joe and Ernie.
Joe. Okay, so Joe, I'm pretty sure it was Joe or who at the NFT event. Here, I'm gonna show you this. Who's this guy?
Maybe it was Tureen List.
Come on, man. Give me 1 second. I promise.
Yeah.
I promise this is gonna be
just
worth
flip
it.
through your entire Instagram here.
Yeah, I know. If y'all see anything inappropriate, I am not sorry.
All right. Well, while you're looking for that, why don't we play one of your songs?
Yeah.
What did you airdrop over to ASAP over there? What's the song called?
Oh, the song Benton House, man.
I've got the fuzz.
Oh, the fuzz. Okay.
I've got
So the fuzz.
D-Metal.
Okay, so the fuzz is the one that I told you, like, Patrick. Recently, I walked into the studio and I was like, "What is this? Like, this is you, bro." So Patrick made this beat, and I told him, I showed him the song "Hustler's Ambition" by 50 Cent. I don't know if you guys have heard it. I'm sure a lot of y'all out there have heard it. But so I showed him the song, and I go, "Dog," I was like, "I want to, like, do some, like, hard shit like this," where I was like, it's been a minute since, like, I let loose, like, really just, like, spit some damn bars. I go, but I want it to be on some, like, 2000s rap shit. I was like, I don't want it to be, like, on the present day, you know, like, whatever, like, this rap genre nowadays is.
And this is what he came up with.
And this is what he came up with, and I just feel like, I'm like, man, like, it came together so dope, and yeah, this is it right here.
how really quick? How long did it take Pat to build this Zen mix, and how long did it take you to lay down the bars?
This beat?
Yeah, this whole thing.
And honestly, I don't know, because he spends so much time in the studio when I'm not there. I just know I just walked into the studio, and, well, I hadn't even walked in yet. I had parked the car, and I was walking, and from outside I could hear the beat. And I was like, yo, what is this? And I saw he was working on it. In the moment, I go, stop. I was like, just stop right now. And he goes, what? And I go, don't add anything to it. Like, don't add anything to it. Don't do anything else.
And he looked at you, and he's like, can I do my fucking job?
He looked at me, he goes, okay. I go, it's perfect right now. And that night, I finished everything that night, and then I hit up my boy Julian. He's a member of the Pocos Locos out in TJ. They're like a pretty well-known group out there, and he ended up coming through the next day. And then with the mixing, so like maybe like a week.
Like,
all
right,
from beginning to end.
Well, let's hear that shit. Flip that track ASAP. This is The Fuzz.
I do, baby. Oh yeah.
Cada semana me llaman de Culiacán y Tijuana para esperar en la aduana lo que me trae la lana. Lo hice solo, no tuve pandilla, pero todos los cholos me respetan todavía. You should know that. If you didn't, homie, you should take an L to hold that. Made myself a promise I would never hold back. Came up out the hood, swore to never go back. Now my life picture perfect like a motherfucking Kodak, te lo juro. Dani y yo en la playa con mínimo 5 culos. Y todas las morritas la pasan tomando turno. Todos tan high que llegamos hasta Saturno. Cuando ella fuma, siempre fuma más que 1, 2, 3 y a la vez. Cuando se arma el threesome, yo las pongo al revés. Esta vida loca la pasamos o algo bien. Esta vida yo la amo, solo le meto hasta el 100. Tú sabes más.
Lo más duro de Cali pa' que lo sepan.
Oye. Take 'em home. Where the fuck were you when I was trapping with the 2? Where the fuck were you when I was turning 1 to 2? Where the fuck were you when I was serving fiends and fools while I was sleeping in the whip, wondering what I'ma do? Yes, it's true. Only new faces that I like are colored blue. We already set with all the members in the crew. Pushing P with Z every time I'm in the stew. Never lying on the beat, I'm a lion out the zoo. Bitch, I'm ill and I'm sick like the flus. And God like to always bless me, I choose. So I keep a Jesus piece on my fucking shoes. So I'm walking with the man anytime I'm walking through. Todavía soy la bestia, aunque me detestan. Se comporta estando a mi lado de la selva. Bestia de la bestia, aunque me detestan. Saben quién es dueño de la motherfucking tienda.
El vago, ya regresé, yo. Mi círculo ya se cerró. Poníamos pa' la cubeta, ahora puro moe chandón. Perdóname si afuera tú te quedaste de este show, pero ¿dónde estabas tú cuando la puerta se cerró? Se sufrió, se corrió, mucha gente me negó. Pensaban que andar de vago solo era lo mío. Contrario, aquí estoy y cada vez estoy mejor. Donde quiera que yo llego se me muestra respeto.
Puros billetes azules.
Aquí se multiplican, it's a fuck you if you two-faced. Ya no hace falta nada, trabajo lunes a lunes. Hago lo que quiero y de eso tú no te preocupes.
Puros billetes azules.
Aquí se multiplican, it's a fuck you if you two-faced. Ya no hace falta nada, trabajo lunes a lunes.
Hago lo que quiero y de eso tú no te preocupes. And we already set with the members in the crew. Real breakers, mami. El maestro. Lo duro. Tú sabes más. Big Guapo.
God damn, that shit
Yes,
is
sir.
fire.
Yes, sir.
Well, so first of all, Zen Mix absolutely crushed it on that in terms of the beat making, and definitely has that 2000s vibe. I love that. Where did you guys get the sample?
Was it so? There's a website called Splice.
Okay, yeah, that's very funny because we were talking about Splice last podcast.
Yeah, so Splice is great, bro. Splice is really, really good. They give you, and there's a lot of the beats that you hear like on radio or like in big artists. Like when you go to Splice, you hear these samples and you're like, damn,
I heard that.
Is this like is this legal? Like, is this like what I'm
do
using?
you have to pay for anything on Splice?
Well, you pay, yeah,
like a subscription.
Yeah, you pay a subscription. There's also like specific packs that you can buy and stuff like
Okay.
that. So when you do that, there's at least for me, like there's so many songs I was like, man, like like big artists are like coming to Splice and like, or big producers that are giving the beats to big artists, like they're coming here and grabbing this stuff. You said what? Oh yeah, there you go. So
what the hell? I just got 107 credits.
For what?
I had like 10 yesterday. Where did they come from? Is this like did they charge me monthly, man?
Did you put in your credit card information?
Probably.
You just bought more credits.
Fun fact, I ASAP doesn't check his statements very often.
That's right.
I know that for sure because we had this Re-Up Records email account attached to his card, and one day he hits me up and he's like, "Hey man, I've paid like $2,000 over the course of the past like year and a half, 2 years like this," and I was like, "What the fuck? Why didn't you tell me?" He's like, "I just saw it right now." What? I was like, yo, I wondered how the hell, like, because I don't even use that email anymore.
We could literally just start draining his bank account.
Yeah,
he will not know.
There's a guy, I think, that was sending Facebook or Google like random bills essentially for like services that he had done, and they paid him. I think it was up into the millions of dollars, like that he got away with, like, you know, essentially scamming and committing fraud on them.
You know what's
what I'm
funny?
talking about?
I think I heard about a story recently where they were saying that people were doing that with like famous and rich people's assistants, because like the assistants
Right.
don't even like check in with the
Right.
famous and rich people if the bill is like under a certain amount. They're just like, okay, well, we've got so much shit going on, like we're just gonna pay it and take care of it.
Exactly. That's exactly. Well, I mean, can you imagine like an entity like Facebook or Google over here, and this guy would send like $100,000, you know?
Hey guys, I think there's a lot
charges.
of money out there. That's,
Here we go.
that's
Here's
unchecked.
the alpha.
You heard it
This
here,
is
folks. This is
Scam
where it
Track
starts.
Saturday. Scam Track.
If we do it all at the same time, they can't stop all of us.
Yeah, that's right. One of us will get through.
Yeah, one of us is gonna get through.
Did you already airdrop him that next song?
Yeah, I did.
All right, excellent. So we're going to play another one of Guap's tracks. Now, I have to say that this particular track is a new favorite of mine.
Caribbean one?
Yeah, Caribbean.
And every chance I get, I ask him to play it. It's fucking dope. It's a great collab.
Oh my gosh! You know where I remember where we played that?
In
was
Vegas.
In Vegas.
Yeah.
It was in
the limo.
In the limo. How
In the limo.
was Vegas, dude?
Fuck out of here.
You know how Vegas was? I'll give you a little insight. I think this would hit me up. This would hit me up like a week later, and he said, "Bro, I feel like I'm barely back to normal now." Meanwhile,
That is true.
I'm like with these like French Arizona chicks. I'm just like, like I haven't gotten to get back to normal yet, man. I'm dying to get back to normal. bro. Like,
You were like,
dang.
what's normal?
Yeah.
Never heard of it.
I never met him.
But yeah, so before we play this track, I do want to just ask, the last track that we played with that sample that Zen Mix did the beat for, is that available, or is that coming out soon?
That's coming out soon. That's
Okay.
coming out soon. So
Okay,
not out
and
yet.
this song as well is unreleased, correct?
Correct.
Excellent. So we are getting exclusives
Exclusive
for the Frogland audience. And this song is called, what is this song called?
This song is called Suelo.
And who's featured on it?
Julian. So the guy that was on the last track. So me and him have an EP coming out. We hang out a lot. So
Dope.
we hang out a lot in the studio, and he has a studio at his house. So anytime we're like hanging out, we're in the studio. So we're just constantly
Awesome.
creating. So we have an EP coming out. It's called Los Vagos, which means.
Do you have a release date?
It's set to release in September. We don't have an exact date yet, though. Probably like right after Labor Day, though.
And what's Los Vagos mean?
Los Vagos means how do I translate vago? Fuck. Is there a word in English? That's a good question, bro.
Well,
Los is done.
I see the smoke coming out of your ears, so I'm gonna let you think about that while we play this track.
I'm gonna Google Translate. See
Yeah, you
if
go
there's
ahead
a,
and
if
do
there's
that,
a word for
and
that.
we're gonna go ahead and play this track.
Let's run it.
Turn me up one time. Real breakers, mommy. Do it one time for the west side. LASD, and that's the best side. And I got the keys to Cali like a test drive. Tengo puro grade A and you can test mine. Mami, tú ya sabes que yo soy el papi. Tengo una 5 esperando en el lobby. Cambio puta como ropa, es mi fucking hobby. Mira, mami, yo lo hago porque es mi fucking provi all day. Listen, what more can I say? Crazy bitches always pulling up to my place. Probably cause I slang the best dick in LA. Girl, I slang this dick like I slang that, yeah, you okay. Yo te lo destrozo, don't
don't play. Si yo te lo hago, te doy por el one way. Yo no soy tu hombre, tú tienes el wrong way. Pero puedo ser tu Sancho empezando tu day, ma. Yeah, dale para atrás. Si lo pones a menear, te lo voy a reventar, yeah. Dale para atrás. Si tú quieres bellaquear, entonces vente con el guama. Ponte 4 y en el suelo. Pa' jalarte por el pelo. Ando en el black and yellow al estilo Wiz Khalifa. Yo lo hago porque puedo, Vamos a romper el suelo. Esto es puro bellaqueo. Ando en el black and yellow al estilo Wiz Khalifa. Yo lo hago porque
mejor
puedo.
tírenme la reta, bola de puñetas. Vieran cómo me reciben en la discoteca. Tirando billetes cuando en el tubo da vueltas. Siguen destapando botellas, perdí la cuenta. Mucho es el peso y también el riesgo. En cantidades grandes no regresan el dinero. Nunca por la espalda, solo juzgo lo que veo. Pocos van conmigo, pero yo con esos tengo. Ya le di, ya le pegué al tino. Dice que le gusta mi manera como rimo. Que muchos se mojan cuando le canto al oído. Giving me the Becky mientras me piden más kilos. Encima de mí y ella rompe el piso. Y si tú lo quebras yo lo vendo enterito. Dudaban de mí, hasta la fecha escucho mitos. Yo solo reparto para que tengan los míos.
Ponte 4 y en el suelo. Pa' jalarte por el pelo. Ando en el black and yellow al estilo Wiz Khalifa. Yo lo hago porque puedo, Vamos a romper el suelo. Esto es puro bellaqueo. Ando en el black and yellow al estilo Wiz Khalifa. Yo lo hago porque puedo,
Real breakers, mami. Tú sabes, man. Big Guapo. Maestro. Julián. Hey, Nico did his thing on this one, man.
God damn, just
You already
dropping
know.
banger after banger.
Y'all already know what the motherfucking deal is, know what I'm saying?
But yeah, you know how much I love that track. Play it over and over
Yeah,
again.
man. The other track that I sent ASAP is more of like I call it Latin beat. So this is like my main passion, bro. Like in doing music is obviously I do Spanish music, but
Do you?
a little bit, man. But it's in kind of like in keeping in mind like the whole thing where like I want to be myself and it's like nobody can bring to the table what I bring to the table. As Nicaraguan as I am also American, you know. So I live in an English world. I speak English most of the time to most people. So like I like making hybrid tracks, kind of like an HL or like NB Riders or like a Baby Bash and Pitbull. Like these are like it's creating like the hybrid of Spanish and English, you know, because that's very much me.
Yeah, love that.
So the next track that I did is like just that, and it's creating a new genre that I call Latin B. So Spanish music typically, even from what you've heard right now, is very like bouncy. And if it's not this like Latin trap, then typically it's like, you know, some like hype stuff to get you dancing in the club and this and that. And that's how 98% of Latin music is. You know, even the slow songs you're supposed to dance to. You know, so like I'm at a certain point I started realizing I was like, you know, like I like a lot of English artists like Party Next Door and The Weeknd and Drake and you know these types of artists like. We don't have music like that in Spanish. It blew my fucking mind when I realized it. I was like, everything we listen to is to dance and to party and to move. I was like, I don't think I've ever heard like songs I just really want to chill and like smoke a blunt to or something. Like in Spanish, like no, it's like I was like, I want to make that. Like I want to make that kind of music.
Dope.
So that's
The Fuzz.
No, that's not the Fuzz.
That's the next track.
That's the next track. The Dímelo track.
But let me ask you about the if we're talking about like, you know, the real you and the development of you as a musician and where all of this started. I think back to like a movie like 8 Mile, right? Where Eminem is making fun of Papa Doc and he says like, you know, something along the lines of like you went to prep school and your name was fucking Clarence or something like that.
Yeah.
So like were you always El Guapo? You know what I mean? Like is like you've got the tattoos, like it's a great look. Like, you've got the flowing mane, and you've got like this whole like you're fashion forward, and you've got definitely a look and a vibe. And I know that's not just like an entertainer thing, like you're trying to put on a front. This is who you've become.
Yeah,
you love fashion.
Yeah,
and looking good and all of that shit, and the tattoos and that lifestyle. So how did that progression go? Like you started to get into like certain type of music, and then you were just like, all right, that's the direction I want to go.
I think. As for like Guapo, like my whole life I've been called that. Like I was a fucking ugly ass kid, bro. Like I don't know if you ever seen those like kids like are born with a lot of hair, like a lot of hair. And so
I was one of them.
Yeah, so I was one of them too. Like I look like Wolf Baby, bro. Like straight up. So my grandma had 22 kids, right?
Wow.
Yeah. So my aunts and uncles are real like intense and like shit talkers, because I think in that type of environment it's so like competitive just to even eat. Like, when someone gets a bigger piece of steak or something, you're like, hey man, what's up? What, you think you're better than me? Like, wow, like, oh come on, let's go outside and check this out. So it's just that kind of like energy, right?
How come my 11 brothers just got a bigger piece of steak?
Yeah. So this is also Nicaragua. You got to remember, people.
Right.
So my uncle used to call me Guapo as a joke, like just to piss off my mom, because his sister, right?
Damn, that's fucked up.
And then be like, he's like, oh, where's the handsome one? Like, and she'd be like, fuck you, because like she knew. And so it just
come here, you little ugly bastard.
Yeah. And so it just kind of stuck like my whole life, like with me. Like my aunts started calling me that, then my mom would call me that, and then friends would hear that my like cousins or my cousin where I was like, I'm not calling you that shit, but like my aunts and uncles, like as terms of endearment, like they would hear that and they'd be like, oh, Guapo, da 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 da, and it just like eventually I got some sunglasses that said Guapo on them, and I got to college and it just really took off from there. But
fuck it. I mean, if they're gonna make fun of you, own it and make it your own.
Yeah, absolutely, bro.
Yeah,
absolutely.
no, that's awesome.
So, but as far as like the tats, man, like my look and everything, I think that's just life, man. That's just kind of how my life unfolded. And
what was your first tattoo?
My first
so you guys can't see Guap right now. We're going to share all of his Instagram and all that shit, and you'll be able to see that he has tattoos all over his body.
Yeah, I'm like...
So what was your first?
My first tattoo actually was in high school, and I like hid it from my parents for a while, but I went with the water polo team because I played water polo, and we all got our water polo numbers tattooed where the numbers were on our Speedos.
Clarence.
Yeah. Yeah, but Clarence will fuck motherfuckers up in the pool. Right. Don't get it twisted. Clarence gets down. And so we tattooed on our Speedos. We would have our water polo numbers like on the right side of the Speedo. So everybody got tattooed, like their number tattooed where the number would be on the Speedo. So that was my first one, which is easy to hide because it's like on my hip, And yeah, then when my mom found out, my sister's name is Karen, and she is such a fucking Karen. And so she found out.
The Nicaraguan Karen.
Yeah, the Nicaraguan Karen. And she found out when I got to college, and she told my mom. You know why she found out? Because I was playing pretty much like a beer league of water polo, and she went to the games with my nephews. And when she saw my tattoo like poking out, she's like, "You have a tattoo?" I was like, "Oh my god, here we go." I knew that she was gonna say something. I was like, "Oh my god!" So yeah, and then after that, man, it
was just like you had to have like 17,000 more.
Yeah. And then once I was like, I always wanted tattoos, but because like my parents and like just thinking about it, like all this shit, I was like, da. And then I remember like I got like behind my ear tatted, and my mom just like freaked out. My dad was really in the picture at this time. My mom freaked out, told me all this like negative shit, how like you're like not my son. Obviously she didn't mean it, man. She was just like in shock. Like I totally get it now. But what that made me do go, well, I'm already disowned, so now time to really fucking go for it. Here we go.
Let's let loose.
Yeah, and I had actually just met Mario. I was like 19, and I had just met him because I was living over in Lincoln Heights. And he was like, "Oh, I tattoo." I was like, "Oh yeah." I was like, "Bro, I want you to blast me." And he's like, "For real?" He's like, "I'm not that good, bro." He's like, "I've only been tattooed a couple months." I was like, "It's all good, dog." I was like, "Run it." So every single tattoo I have on me is actually from Mario. Except the first one.
Wow.
Except the first one.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So when you look at like my tats, like Mario made all this stuff come together.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know when he wasn't good at tattooing because
during this phase, man.
Okay, fair enough.
Random squigglies going through my arm. This
so
you crazy sometimes.
you were his test canvas.
Yeah,
and he got better with you. Dude. But because he is a hell of a tattoo artist now.
For sure.
He's done a tattoo on me. I think. Have you gotten one? I know Doc has.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh, yep. ASAP. So we've all been tattooed by Mario at this point.
Yeah.
And he's a fantastic tattoo artist. But
he was going to tat one on my ass the other day.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So there's this new ridiculous project that some of you may have seen out there called Dirt Birds.
Dirt birds?
Yeah, and
you're gonna get a dirt bird on your ass.
Yeah, so I
you don't really drop them out of your ass.
I said this NFT project is ridiculous, and it's like one of these hype train things. And he was like dying to get another one. I was like, stop it. And I was like, you know what? I'll buy you one if you tattoo it on your ass. And
actually, I proposed you.
Oh, you proposed me the idea?
You can go back and read the text.
All right,
we'll go back and check receipts.
Either way, I said I'll buy it. I said let's do this right now. Yeah. I'll buy it. And he's texting Mario, hey, can you do this tattoo? Of course he can do the fucking tattoo. Hey, can you do this tattoo? And he's like, I don't know.
Can you match the colors?
Yeah, I don't know if my girlfriend's gonna be okay with it. I'm like, either you want me to buy this for you and we're gonna tattoo it on your ass.
I cannot believe you didn't fucking do it, bro.
I know. And then the next day he's coming to me, oh, we should do it. I was like, yeah, you missed the opportunity.
Yeah, deal's closed, brother.
I gave you fair warning. You're just trying to get back at me for
no.
Yesterday's price is not today's price.
That's right. and at this point, if we're going back on this, I'm going to be the one tattooing it on your ass now.
Oh, damn.
Okay. So if we're doing this now, Mario's going to have to let me.
It's not going to look like a dirty bird. It's just going to look dirty.
That's right.
Mario has this new tattoo gun. It's all wireless. It's sick.
I saw that. Yeah.
Nice.
Cool.
So we'll get that over here, and I'll go ahead and
check this. Hold up.
He's taking his shirt off. I like it. Oh,
let's see what you got.
Oh, that's Nala's handprint, paw print. I fucking
yes,
love that.
Oh my god, this fool! That's awesome. So that red ogre emoji that's on all of your phones, he got that tattooed in his armpit, which is hilarious. we have this thing where we go ha. And we associate that sound with the red ogre. So
let me see Nala's paw print. That's super.
That's
dope.
pretty awesome.
That's
but yeah, as much as I'm sure the audience is really interested in all the tattoos they can't see, I'm gonna go ahead and have ASAP spin this last track. What is this track called?
This track is called Dímelo. This one's kind of like my baby. It's
and this is what you were talking about, where you just wanted to kind of slow things down and like, what can we smoke a blunt to that's got that like Latin vibe?
But also like just
pack us a bowl then.
Yeah, pack us a bowl, man. This more so than be like the chill and like smoke a blunt to like. I know it makes come as a surprise to y'all, but I'm a pretty romantic guy, man. You know, it's like
Casanova.
I'm a little bit of a Casanova, a little bit of a Latin lover. You know? But so like that's a side that, in all honesty, I don't get to like show very often.
You're very romantic.
Just being like I call it what it is, man. Just being a bachelor in Hollywood and a player and all that stuff.
Yeah, that's what we'll call it. Good choice of words.
It's like I don't like people think. It's funny people think that I'm just like this. They're like, yeah, so that shake that ass, girl. Like, throw that ass back. Let me like see what's off the strip club.
I know that's what we think. I've seen your Instagram.
He's like, I was with you in Vegas. What do you mean? That's what you think?
Right.
I mean, yeah. Sometimes that's what I do. But also, like, I have like this is like my vulnerable. I feel like in my studio, man, is a church to me. So. It's probably like the only place that I really like feel 100% safe, like to express myself and like in the booth. You get what I'm saying? So with that, like I'm able to like express like you'll hear the song right now, man. Like it's a vulnerable song. It's like lovey, but kind of like shit talky at the same time, and it's just me, man. So
and I don't know if you want to kind of explain to the audience what some of it means beforehand, because a good portion of it is going to be in Spanish.
Well,
right?
actually, most of it's in English.
Most of it's in English.
Yeah, the whole first like half, maybe like 60% is in English, and then the only part that's really in Spanish is the word dímelo and the last verse, and the last verse is pretty much saying like, "Hey, shawty, like, let me know what's up. Like, are you trying to link with me or not? Are you trying to run it back? Like, I know that you've been fucking with these other dudes, but they can't treat you the way that I do. So I want you to come pull up, see what I got to offer you, because I could take you on trips here, 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 and here. And if you're not with it, it's all good. At least let me run it for the night."
Dangerous. What a romantic. Dangerous question. Was this written for someone in particular?
No, this is actually written. This was written for like when I wrote it, I was like, this is for my next girl. Okay. Like whoever my next girl, like whoever my next girlfriend, whoever my next partner may be, like this is like kind of like a song like for her.
And dímelo means give it to me, right?
No, dímelo means tell me.
Right.
Dámelo.
Okay. Yeah. See, I'm very proficient. All right.
Tell me if you're gonna throw it back or not.
Let's go ahead and spin dímelo.
Let's run it.
Run it.
Dímelo. Mami, please do not ever leave me alone. Dímelo. Dímelo. Mami, please do not ever leave me alone, girl. No, I put it down every time I come home, girl. Probably talk about it to your home, girl. That's what she get at me on the low, girl. On the low. Got a couple things I think you should know. Don't believe in love, that's a fucking no. Seen the way that she could really fucking go. Triste, cada vez que tú te fuiste no dijiste. Ahora todo el mundo me mira como chiste. Me decías que me amaba y me mentiste. Triste, mami no. Mami, please do not ever leave me alone. Yo te quiero con todo mi corazón. Mami, please do not ever leave me alone. Dímelo, 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 dímelo. In my zone, Eddie Jones, flow sound like a brown Post Malone. Irish song, semi song. You already know how this about to go, girl. Hit it backstage in my show, girl. Put you on your back and take it low, girl. I know that you like it real slow, girl. Dímelo, mami, si olvidamos el party. Nos vamos en el Ferrari mientras fumamos la mari. Ya se me antoja tu body. Yo soy un tipo bien nari y son mi tipo de shari. Más picante que wasabi. Yo comencé en el safari y terminé millonario. Por eso todas las bebecitas me buscan pa' su daddy. Pero soy solo tu papi, te monto mi Kawasaki. I give you rounds when I stop and I promise, mami, you got me, Dímelo. Yo te quiero con todo mi corazón. Mami, please do not ever leave me alone. Dímelo, 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 girl. Yeah. Real breakers, mami. At the side.
Rio Records.
Please do not ever leave me alone.
Fucking flow.
Oh yeah, man. Dímelo, dímelo.
Damn.
Yes.
Another banger. Listen, thank you so much for coming in today, Guapo. We really appreciate
Bro, thank
your
you so
time.
much for having me, bro. Anytime, bro. I really appreciate it.
Really awesome sharing some of your music with the community. Got to get some exclusives out there, which is awesome. I know I personally cannot wait for this EP to drop.
Yes, sir. Yes,
in
sir.
September. I will be definitely all over that when it does.
Absolutely, man. We'll have you back on to promote it.
Yeah, we'll have you back
yeah.
on.
Hell yeah.
We'll be sharing all that shit with the community. Go check out The Real Guap Mode on Instagram.
Yes,
you'll be
sir.
able to access all of his stuff through his bio. You'll be able to see some of the stuff that he just drops on the regular when he's in the studio.
Yeah, you'll also be able to just watch the fun things that he posts on his
Yeah.
story.
Yeah,
Just kind of like go through the day to day.
You'll get to see a little bit of the lifestyle.
Yeah. You know what's funny, man? I have
see Bingus in
friends that hit
Vegas.
me up and they're like, man, like anytime I'm feeling down and like I just need entertainment, I come to your page, man.
It is a good time. It is a good time.
Come have a good time, Come have a good time.
Hell yeah. But no, we really appreciate you being in the studio today and sharing your music and a little bit about your life and your process. So thank you so much.
Thank y'all, man. Thank y'all.
Thank you, as always, to the Frogland team, without whom we would not be here. They're amazing, and definitely be on the lookout for the next 4 biomes, one of which has music by Sapo Studios, a jam session that we did live on the show, so that's awesome and very exciting for us. More music from Damboy and Kita coming out on some of the other biome trailers, and just amazing stuff coming from the Frogland team. Remember, if you don't have a frog yet, there are still frogs available with land that has not been claimed, and it's super cheap. So get out there and get yourself some land and get yourself a frog. We love you all. Thank you so much for showing up today, and we will see you next Saturday. Ribbit, ribbit.
Sapo Studio, motherfuckers!
You should throw down a freestyle, man.
Yeah. Let me take them out with a freestyle real quick. What's this? This the shit they talking about every time the boy done spit. Cause you know I'm pulling up every time I'm rolling that blunt. And you know I got that stuff, super icky green stuff. Yeah, that be that Hulk OG and all the OGs. Yeah, they know. Mira, okay, yeah, had to switch it up, back with the flow. Now I'm back, not on the phone, but my phone always be blowing up. Cause you know that I got that stuff, that work, okay. You know that I run around all LA, cause I get in all that damn day. Cause you know that I get that change, that pay, okay, one time go. Matter of fact, just switch the flow. Cada vez que yo lo cambio, ellos dicen que queremos, pero tengo todos los kilos, tengo los pesos, tengo los güeros, tengo la cosa que esta pendeja me dice que nunca la dejo en cuero. No, siempre le sigo, nunca le pido, siempre le meto. Estos hijos puta que saben que tengo los cuernos de chivo, todo lo que digo es cierto. Estos hijos puta no quieren los cuernos, porque cada vez que yo les tiro, dicen ellos, yo no remember, no, ya no se acuerdan de nada. Todo lo que tiro, cada palabra, tengo la mala palabra también de la buena. Y estos hijos puta sufren la condena, si quieren condena les digo que caigan. Ey homie, dale que caigan, porque yo les digo, ey, never let bygones be bygones, nah, I'm coming back, I need that. Hey, Sam, Bingus, La Bomba, and I crown myself
La Bomba,
El Guapo Sapo.
El Guapo Sapo. Dope.
Hell yes.
Happy Saturday, y'all.
I appreciate y'all, man.
That was dope, dude. Sapo out.